Or, gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful today. When a woman walks away, when she pulls back, when she distances herself from you, it doesn't mean the story is over, or it doesn't mean the connection is gone forever. Most men panic, beg, chase, and lose all of their power in the process. But what I'm about to reveal to you will flip the entire game around. If you apply this one shift, she will come back to you. Not maybe, not possibly, but without question, she will come back 100%. The truth is, women are not drawn back to a man through pressure. They don't come back because you text her 1,000 times, or because you cry and explain how much you need her. That only pushes her further away. Women are drawn back by gravity. And what is that gravity? It's your strength, or your discipline, your ability to remain calm, composed, and focused on your own mission without needing her validation. Listen carefully. Or the moment you stop chasing is the moment she starts wondering. The moment you stop explaining yourself is the moment she starts questioning her own decisions. Or the moment you put your energy back into your growth, your body, your career, your mindset, your lifestyle, is the moment she begins to feel the absence of your presence. Or that absence creates desire, and desire pulls her back. Think about it. When you were at your best, when you were confident, ambitious, moving forward with purpose, that's when she was most drawn to you. Not when you begged. Not when you pleaded, not when you made her the center of your universe. Or she doesn't want to be your universe. She wants to orbit around the man who already has one. So what do you need to do? Stop trying to convince her, or stop trying to fix what she doesn't see as broken. Stop making her the prize. You are the prize, and when you treat yourself like the prize, she cannot ignore it. Or she may try to resist. She may act like she's moved on, but inside she will feel it. She will compare every man she meets to you. And she will realize no one else carries the same energy. That's when she comes back. But let me be clear, this only works if you mean it. You can't fake strength, or you can't pretend to be confident while secretly waiting by the phone. You must truly shift your energy, live your life, improve your life, or build yourself to a level where you don't need her back. But if she comes back, it's because she can't resist the man you've become. Gentlemen, or she will come back 100%, but only if you do this. Step back, reclaim your power, focus on your growth, show her through your actions, not your words, or that you are not a man who breaks when someone leaves. You are a man who rises higher, no matter who stays or who goes. That is the energy no woman can walk away from. Or stop chasing, start attracting. This principle alone has changed the entire dynamic for countless men who felt powerless when a woman pulled away. Or chasing is the natural instinct most men fall into because they fear losing her. They fear that her silence or distance means she's slipping out of their lives forever. Or so they send long paragraphs, they beg for explanations, they try to buy affection, they attempt to convince her why she should stay. But what they don't realize is that the more they chase, the more they teach her that she is in control, the more they communicate neediness, desperation, and lack of options. Or attraction is never built through need, it's built through strength. When you stop chasing, you create space, and that space is where attraction breathes, or that's where curiosity grows, that's where desire rekindles. A woman does not come back because she feels pressured, or she comes back because she feels pulled in by something magnetic, and that magnetism is only found in a man who is no longer seeking her approval. Or attraction is not about what you say, it's about the energy you carry. A man who is chasing is constantly seeking, constantly reaching, or constantly showing that his happiness depends on her presence. That weakens the image of the man she once desired. But when you stop chasing, your focus shifts back where it belongs, on yourself, on your goals, on your growth. You begin to invest in your health, your fitness, your financial stability, your mindset, or your social life. And slowly but surely you radiate a sense of completeness. A man who is whole within himself doesn't need to run after anyone, and that's exactly why people want to come toward him. Women sense when a man is unshaken, when he's living with purpose, or when he's moving forward, whether she's beside him or not. That's what creates that undeniable pull. Or that's what makes her start questioning whether she made the right choice in leaving. Chasing communicates that she is above you, or attracting communicates that you are equal or greater in value, and this shift changes everything. When you chase, she relaxes because she knows she has your attention locked, or she knows she has you waiting. She knows that no matter what, you'll be there. But when you stop chasing, she begins to wonder, she begins to notice the silence, or she begins to feel the absence of your attention, and that's when the dynamic flips. The same woman who was distant begins checking your social media, or she starts asking mutual friends about you. She begins sending subtle messages to test the waters. Why? Because scarcity creates value. When your attention becomes rare, or it becomes more valuable than ever before, this doesn't mean you play games. It doesn't mean you act cold or heartless, or it means you respect yourself enough not to throw your energy where it's not reciprocated. It means you learn to control your impulses and trust the process of attraction. Or when you stop chasing, you're not ignoring her out of bitterness. You're redirecting your focus to what makes you a stronger man. Or she feels the difference between a man who soaks in silence and a man who thrives in silence. Or she feels the difference between someone waiting for her to return and someone building a life so powerful that her return becomes a natural consequence. Or women are wired to follow strength, and when you stop chasing, you automatically step into strength. You show that you are not dependent, you show that you are not desperate, or you show that you are not broken without her. Instead, you radiate abundance, you radiate choice, you radiate stability. That's the type of man she cannot forget, or that's the type of man she compares every other guy to. That's the type of man she ends up coming back to. Or reclaiming your power is the single most important step when a woman walks away, because in most cases, the moment she distances herself or a man unconsciously hands over his strength by reacting emotionally, he gives her his peace of mind, his focus, and his stability, or leaving her in control of the dynamic while he scrambles for answers. But true power comes when you take all that energy back, when you decide that your emotions, your time, or in your life are not dictated by her actions. Reclaiming your power doesn't mean becoming bitter, angry, or cold, or it means refusing to let someone else control the way you think and feel, or it means putting yourself at the center of your life again and remembering that your value is not determined by whether she stays or goes. Or a man who has lost his power is constantly reacting, constantly waiting for a call, constantly overanalyzing messages and signals, and in the process, or he becomes smaller in her eyes. A woman cannot respect a man who has given her the keys to his happiness. But when you reclaim your power, you stand firm in who you are, or you show that you are not afraid of her absence. You remind her and yourself that you were complete before she entered your life, and you will remain complete no matter what she chooses. That level of calm strength is what makes her question whether she underestimated you. Or reclaiming your power starts with discipline. It starts with saying no to impulsive behavior, no to desperate texts, no to emotional outbursts, or no to letting her dictate your mood. It means controlling yourself when everything in you wants to break down, or because that control is what separates men who beg from men who lead. It means establishing boundaries not in a harsh or arrogant way, but in a way that communicates self-respect. You no longer accept being treated as an option. You no longer allow disrespect to slide, or you no longer bend your values just to keep someone around. When you reclaim your power, you return to the version of yourself that attracted her in the first place, or the man who was confident, focused, and sure of himself. Power is magnetic, and when you embody it, people naturally respond. Or women are drawn to men who do not crumble under pressure, men who stand tall in uncertainty, men who can walk away if necessary without losing themselves. Or the moment you reclaim your power, you flip the dynamic. She is no longer the one in control because she feels that you are no longer waiting for her decisions. Or she feels the shift in your energy. She feels the silence where there used to be neediness. She feels the presence of a man who has remembered his worth. And that triggers curiosity, that triggers doubt, that triggers a desire to be part of your world again. Reclaiming your power also means turning your pain into fuel, or instead of letting rejection crush you, you use it as motivation to build yourself up. You take that energy and pour it into your body at the gym, into your financial growth, or into your personal skills, into your mindset. You channel it into becoming sharper, stronger, and wiser. Suddenly, you're not just the same man she left, or you're a man transformed by discipline and resilience. And that transformation is what makes her see you in a different light. When you reclaim your power, or you stop waiting for her to validate you, you stop looking for closure, you stop depending on her to fix the way you feel. You decide that your happiness is your responsibility, or your future is in your hands, your peace is something no one else can touch. That energy is undeniable. It doesn't just affect her, it affects everyone around you. Friends or colleagues, even strangers sense it, and it raises the level of respect you receive from the world. And once you operate from that position of strength, she cannot ignore it, or because deep down women are drawn to the man who refuses to give away his power, or focusing on self-improvement is the foundation of regaining attraction and respect, because no woman is drawn to a man who abandons his own growth for the sake of chasing someone else. Or the moment you redirect all your energy from worrying about her to building yourself, the entire story changes. Or self-improvement is not just about looking better or making more money. It's about becoming the strongest version of yourself in every area of life. Or it's about creating a lifestyle that commands attention without you even asking for it. Or a man who invests in himself becomes naturally magnetic because people feel the difference between someone stuck in self-pity and someone moving with discipline, purpose, and progress. The first pillar of self-improvement is your body. When a man commits to his physical health, he doesn't just build muscles, he builds discipline. Or every rep in the gym, every healthy meal, every early morning run is a reminder that he has control over his life. Women notice the man who carries himself with strength, or the man whose posture radiates confidence, the man whose energy is vibrant because he respects his health. It's not about vanity, it's about vitality, and vitality is irresistible. A strong body communicates a strong mind, and that makes her remember the attraction that sparked in the beginning. The second pillar is your mind, or reading, learning, and sharpening your mental strength sets you apart from the average man who wastes time scrolling endlessly or escaping into distractions. Or when you expand your knowledge, when you build emotional intelligence, when you learn how to stay calm under pressure, you become a man of depth. Or depth is what makes conversations meaningful. Depth is what makes your presence valuable. Depth is what keeps a woman intrigued. Or a man who improves his mind never becomes predictable. He keeps growing, and growth is endlessly attractive. The third pillar is your mission. Without a mission, a man drifts, and a drifting man is easy to forget. But when you lock in on a goal, when you pursue something bigger than yourself, when your life is guided by vision and ambition, or you automatically stand out, a woman can walk away, but she can't ignore the man who is chasing his purpose. Your mission becomes the backbone of your identity, or it gives you direction, it gives you confidence, it gives you a sense of value that doesn't depend on her approval. When she sees you focused on building, on creating, or on moving forward, it reminds her that you are not like everyone else. The fourth pillar is your lifestyle. Self-improvement shows in the way you live day to day, or the way you carry yourself socially, the way you manage your time, the way you build new experiences. Or a man who isolates himself and waits for her return only communicates weakness. But a man who fills his life with meaningful friendships, with travel, with new skills, or with achievements radiates abundance. Abundance is powerful because it communicates that you have options, you have opportunities, or you have more to offer the world than chasing one person's attention. Or that makes her look back and realize that she risks losing someone who is becoming more valuable every single day. Or the beauty of self-improvement is that it doesn't just attract her back, it attracts everything else as well. Better opportunities, stronger networks, higher income, or deeper respect from peers all come as a byproduct. And when your life begins to elevate, when you start to look and feel better, when your mindset is sharper, or when your lifestyle is thriving, she cannot help but notice. Even if she tries to ignore it, others will talk about it, others will highlight it, and eventually it will reach her. That's when the curiosity kicks in. That's when the doubt enters her mind, or that's when she realizes that you're no longer the same man she left. Self-improvement is the quiet revenge, the silent answer, or the unspoken message that says you are unstoppable. You don't need to argue. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to chase. Or your progress speaks louder than words, and progress is what draws her back more powerfully than any promise or plea ever could. Or she doesn't want to be the center of your world. She wants to orbit around a man who already has one. And this is one of the most misunderstood truths about attraction. Or too many men make the mistake of putting a woman at the very core of their lives, elevating her above their goals, above their mission, above their purpose. And in doing so, they lose the very qualities that made her interested in the first place. A man with no center of gravity becomes unstable, and instability is not attractive. Or when you place her as your sun, as the reason for your existence, you smother her with need, you drain her with constant attention, and you show her that without her your life has no direction. That is not love, that is dependency, and dependency always kills desire. The truth is, women are not attracted to men who revolve around them. They are attracted to men who have their own world, their own vision, their own passions. Or she wants to feel like she has entered into something bigger than herself when she chooses you, not like she has become your entire universe. Or a man who already has a world built around his mission, his discipline, and his lifestyle is magnetic because he doesn't need her to complete him, or he simply allows her to be part of his orbit. That difference changes everything, because when she sees you as a man grounded in his own reality, or she feels admiration instead of pressure, curiosity instead of boredom, attraction instead of suffocation. Imagine two men, or one who wakes up every day with no plan other than thinking about her, and one who wakes up with a clear vision of his goals, his projects, his body, his finances, his growth. Or the first man becomes predictable, easily controlled, easily dismissed. The second man becomes unpredictable, exciting, and valuable, because his life has direction regardless of her involvement. The second man doesn't stop his progress for anyone, he simply moves forward and lets those who want to join him be part of the journey. That is the type of man she cannot forget, because he represents strength and leadership. When you make her the center, she feels burdened. She feels the weight of carrying your happiness, and eventually she begins to resent it. But when you make your purpose the center, she feels free to be drawn to you without pressure. She feels inspired to be part of something that is already moving, and she feels secure knowing you are not depending on her for validation. This is why women often test men by pulling away, because they want to see if you will collapse without them or continue to rise. If you collapse, you prove that your life is empty without her. If you rise, you prove that she was never your center, and that paradoxically makes her want to be closer again. Having your own world means building routines that strengthen you, it means chasing goals that excite you. It means filling your time with meaningful pursuits that elevate your value. It could be your career, your fitness, your business, or your passions, your creative projects, your social connections. When all of these pillars are strong, you naturally become the center of gravity in any relationship. She doesn't want to be your savior. She wants to admire you. She wants to respect you. She wants to feel like she is with a man who can stand firmly on his own and invite her to stand beside him. A man who already has a world is not easily shaken when someone leaves, because his foundation remains. He is not left empty-handed, he is not left lost, because his identity was never tied to one person. This stability is what makes him powerful, because no matter what happens, he remains the same man of vision and progress. And when she realizes this, when she sees that she is not the axis of your life, her respect and attraction grow naturally. She wants to join that orbit, or she wants to be part of that strength, because deep down, every woman is drawn to a man who has a life so full that her presence only enhances it rather than defines it. Or scarcity creates value, and this truth applies just as much to relationships as it does to anything else in life. The more available you are, the more predictable you become, or the less urgency she feels to keep you close. When your attention is on her every hour, when you respond instantly to every message, or when you cancel your plans just to be around her, you are signaling that your time and presence carry no weight. People don't value what is abundant, they value what is rare. And the moment you understand this, you begin to shift the dynamic in your favor. By creating space, by not being constantly accessible, or you remind her that your attention is something to be earned, not something to be taken for granted. Scarcity doesn't mean ignoring her out of spite or playing immature games, or it means recognizing your worth and treating your energy like a precious resource. A man who is always available loses mystery, and mystery is the fuel of attraction. Or when she doesn't know what you're doing, when she has to wonder why you haven't called, when she sees you occupied with your own growth and your own mission, or curiosity begins to grow in her mind. She begins to think about you more because you've given her the space to miss you. When you were flooding her with constant contact, or she never had the chance to feel your absence. But when you create that scarcity, the value of your presence rises naturally. Think about luxury items, or they are desired not because they are everywhere, but because they are rare, difficult to obtain, not easily replaced. The same principle applies to your attention. Or when she realizes that not every man can command the level of self-respect you demonstrate, when she notices that your energy is not handed out cheaply, or when she feels that your time must be earned, she instinctively values you more. People are wired to chase what they fear losing. And when you stop placing yourself on a silver platter, you trigger that natural instinct within her. This is why women are drawn to men who are busy, focused, and ambitious, or because their time is scarce. A man who is building his career, improving his body, chasing his dreams, and expanding his world doesn't have hours to sit around waiting for a text. His time is structured, his focus is directed, his energy is protected. And that scarcity communicates value without a single word. She senses it, she sees it, and she feels it every time she interacts with him. Or he doesn't need to say he is important. His lifestyle proves it. That is the kind of scarcity that elevates his worth in her eyes. Scarcity also creates contrast, because when you do give her attention, it feels more powerful, more special, more meaningful. If you are always present, always pouring into her, the effect of your words and actions becomes diluted. But when you withhold, when you focus on yourself, when you allow gaps of silence, the moments you do connect stand out. Your affection feels deliberate instead of desperate. Your attention feels valuable instead of ordinary. And that difference is what reignites her desire. By making your presence scarce, you also reclaim your independence. You show that you are not addicted to her validation, you show that your life is full even without her constant involvement, and that strength cannot be ignored. Scarcity sends the message that you are a man with options, a man who doesn't fear walking alone, a man who values himself enough not to overextend. That kind of self-control is rare in today's world, and rarity always commands attention. When she experiences the weight of your absence, she starts to feel the reality of your value. She may not admit it openly, but she begins to think about you when you're not around. She begins to notice the difference between you and other men. She begins to wonder if letting you go was a mistake, that wondering is exactly what pulls her back, because her emotions are tied not to what you gave her constantly, but to what she now realizes she is missing. Scarcity creates longing, longing creates desire, and desire is what draws her back with more intensity than words or promises ever could. Becoming the prize is the ultimate shift that changes the entire way she looks at you. because most men spend their energy treating the woman as the prize or putting her on a pedestal, worshipping her, and forgetting that true attraction only happens when a man sees his own value first. When you treat her as the prize, or you lower yourself in her eyes, you communicate that she is above you, and that instantly kills the respect and admiration she once felt. But when you embody the mindset and lifestyle of being the prize, you flip the script. You remind her that it was you who brought value into her life, or it was you who set the tone. It was you who provided leadership, vision, and strength. Women don't want to be worshipped, or they want to feel chosen by a man who is already desired by others, a man who knows his worth and refuses to compromise it for anyone. Becoming the prize is not arrogance, or it's not about looking down on her. It's about owning your identity as a man who has something rare to offer, or it's about building yourself to the point where your presence feels like an opportunity, not a consolation. The prize mentality starts with self-respect, or with boundaries that protect your energy, with a lifestyle that proves you don't beg for acceptance. It shows in the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, or the way you speak, the way you handle challenges. A man who is the prize doesn't need to chase because his value attracts naturally. Or he doesn't try to force her to see his worth because his life already demonstrates it. When you become the prize, or she begins to compete for your time and attention instead of the other way around. She starts to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, what you're building, or because she realizes she is not the only option in your life. This shift in dynamic is powerful because it awakens her competitive nature, and women are wired to want what other people want. When she sees that you are admired by others, when she feels that your presence is not easily available, or when she notices that you are thriving without her, her attraction begins to rebuild on its own. She wants to feel like she won something valuable, or not like she was handed something desperate. Becoming the prize also forces you to elevate your standards. You stop accepting poor treatment, or you stop lowering your boundaries just to keep someone. You stop begging for crumbs of attention. Instead, you carry yourself like a man who knows what he deserves, and that energy is impossible to ignore. She sees that you are no longer chasing her approval. She feels that you are no longer dependent on her decisions, and she realizes that being with you is a privilege, not a guarantee. That realization creates respect, and respect is the foundation of lasting attraction. Or the prize mindset requires you to focus on abundance in every area of your life. You build your health, your wealth, your mindset, your skills, your network, and your lifestyle to a point where you stand out. You become the man that other men want to be, and the man that women want to be with. And when you reach that level, you don't need to convince her to come back, because she will see with her own eyes that walking away from you was a mistake. She will feel it in the way you move, or the way others respond to you, the way your life keeps getting better without her. That energy makes her want to be part of your world again, because she realizes that you are not ordinary, you are exceptional, and exceptional men are always the prize. When you become the prize, the power dynamic shifts permanently, you no longer fear losing her because you understand that you are valuable regardless of who stays or goes. That security, that inner confidence, that unshakable belief in yourself is what makes her want to stay close. She may test you, she may pull away, she may try to see if you will crumble, but when you stand firm and show that you are the prize, she comes back because she cannot resist the gravitational pull of a man who truly knows his worth.